At 6:43 a.m., the skyline of downtown Chicago was still half asleep when Maya Bennett pushed her squeaky cleaning cart down the empty corridor of Vaughn Development Group. The air smelled like floor polish and cold ambition. Her uniform was faded, her hands raw, but her focus was steady. Just survive another day. Then she opened the CEO's office and stopped. A thick folder lay open on the mahogany desk. Bankruptcy declaration. The words stared back at her like a warning. She frowned, tracing the numbers with her finger. "That can't be right," she whispered. Years of counting every penny told her something didn't add up. Behind her the elevator chimed. Footsteps echoed closer. Her pulse quickened. If anyone saw her near those papers, she'd lose everything. But if she walked away, a man might sign away his life. That morning, an invisible cleaner was about to rewrite a billionaire's fate. Subscribe to Canada's Heartfelt Tales, where one quiet act of courage can change everything. The elevator doors opened with a metallic sigh, and the hum of the city seeped in like a heartbeat beneath the floor. Maya pushed her cart down the hallway, but her hands wouldn't stop trembling. The image of that folder wouldn't leave her mind. The bold black letters, the crooked totals, the quiet proof that someone powerful was about to be destroyed by deceit. She whispered to herself, steadying her breath. "You saw what you saw. Don't pretend you didn't." Downstairs, the first wave of executives began arriving, their shoes clicking sharply against the marble. They passed her without a glance, eyes locked on their phones, coffee cups in hand. To them she was air. That was fine. Being invisible had kept her safe. But today safety felt like betrayal. By 7:30, she'd finished her floor and wheeled her cart toward the service elevator. The air smelled faintly of bleach and nerves. She couldn't stop picturing the numbers in that folder. 64 million. She had run them twice in her head. The math didn't fit. Her instinct told her something terrible was unfolding behind those polished doors, and no one would ever know, unless she said something. She stopped beside the trash bin, gripping the handle until her knuckles ached. Then she turned around, heart pounding, and went back upstairs. Inside the office, sunlight cut through the blinds, striping the desk in gold and shadow. She glanced around, empty, quiet. Only the hum of the air conditioner and the faint scent of expensive cologne remained. She reached into her pocket, pulled out a post-it note, and hesitated. Her mind flashed to her father's voice. Rough, kind, forever tired. "Numbers never lie, Maya. People do." Her pen moved fast. "Mr. Vaughn, check page 7 before signing. Total is wrong. 47 million, not 64. Someone inflated the numbers. Friend." She placed it on the first page, aligned the stack perfectly, and exhaled like she'd just stolen fire. By the time she reached the parking garage, her nerves were burning. The concrete echoed every step. The city above was waking up, indifferent and loud. She told herself she'd done the right thing, even if no one ever knew. Then her phone rang. "Ms. Bennett," a low, exhausted voice said. "Are you still in the building?" Her chest tightened. "Yes, sir." "Whose?" "This is Richard Vaughn. Please don't leave. I need to speak with you. Right now." She froze. When he appeared minutes later, he didn't look like the man whose name was on the golden plaque. His tie was crooked, his eyes red-rimmed, his movements restless, like someone who'd spent all night fighting ghosts. In his hand was her post-it. "Was it you?" His voice cracked under the weight of disbelief. "Yes," she whispered. He stared at her for a long, heavy moment. Then his composure shattered. He sank to the ground right there on the cold concrete. "You just saved my life." Maya stepped back, unsure if this was gratitude or madness. But when he looked up, there was nothing but truth in his eyes. "My partner, Austin Monroe. He forged the debts. 17 million that doesn't exist." Her pulse raced. "You're sure?" "I am now," he said bitterly. "And I'm done letting him win." He stood abruptly, straightened his jacket, and gestured toward the elevator. "Come with me. I want you there when I confront him." You saw the proof. Maya hesitated, her voice barely a whisper. Sir, I'm just the cleaner. Not anymore. His tone was steel. Today you're the witness. They stepped into the elevator together. The metal doors reflected two worlds colliding, a billionaire and a janitor, bound by truth. When the doors opened on the 23rd floor, the tension was already waiting. The secretary's voice crackled through the intercom. Mr. Vaughn, Mr. Monroe is here. Send him in. Austin Monroe entered like a man who owned the air he breathed. His suit was flawless, his smile charming and venomous. Rick, he greeted smoothly. Didn't expect company. His gaze slid toward Maya, dismissive and sharp. Bringing staff into private meetings now? Sit down, Richard said. Austin's smirk deepened. Still fighting the inevitable. Maybe, Richard said evenly. But not blind anymore. He picked up the folder and placed it between them. These numbers, you want me to sign away everything I've built? Tell me, Austin, how does a $60 million company suddenly owe 74? Austin's smile flickered. Accounting corrections. You wouldn't understand the details. I do now, Richard said quietly, sliding the post-it note across the table. She noticed. Austin's jaw clenched. A janitor. Maya's stomach twisted, but she didn't look away. Richard's tone sharpened. The janitor who caught your fraud. Austin laughed, a brittle sound. Rick, you're losing your mind. Maybe, Richard replied. But I have your emails. For the first time, Austin's face drained of confidence. Richard opened a folder filled with printed messages. Your deal with Consolidated Supply Partners. The fake creditors. The forged totals. Julie kept the backups, Austin. Every one. Silence crashed over the room. Austin stood abruptly. You think this will hold up? You'll ruin your own company dragging this out. I'd rather rebuild from ashes than let you burn others alive, Richard said. The FBI's already on their way. The color left Austin's face. He turned toward Maya, his voice dripping with venom. You'll regret this. People like you always do. You'll be forgotten the minute this is over. Richard stepped forward, his voice cutting like glass. Get out, Austin. When the door slammed, the glass walls trembled. For a long moment, there was only the sound of breathing, the heavy, uneven rhythm of survival. Then Richard turned to Maya. He was right about one thing, he said softly. I never saw you before today. Maya's eyes fell to the floor. People like me aren't meant to be seen. Richard shook his head. You saw what no one else did. You saved $60 million, and my soul. He reached for a pen and scribbled something on a paper. Starting Monday, you'll join the audit department. Full training. Full salary. I want you there, finding the things the rest of us overlook. Maya stared, her throat tight. Sir, I don't know anything about business. You know honesty, he said. That's more than most. For the first time she smiled. A small, trembling smile that carried the weight of every year she'd been invisible. 3 months later, the snow outside the Vaughn Tower sparkled under pale winter sunlight. Maya stepped off the bus, now wearing a neat blazer and carrying a badge that opened the main lobby doors. Her nameplate read Junior Audit Analyst. Every morning she touched it like proof. Inside the office she faced whispers, some mocking, some cruel. The janitor miracle. They waited for her to fail. And maybe that was why she worked harder than anyone else. She stayed late, reviewed every contract twice, learned the codes and formulas until they felt like second nature. One afternoon, a senior analyst named Roger dropped a folder on her desk. Let's see if you're really as smart as the boss thinks. It was a maze of receipts and numbers, traps designed to humiliate. She stayed late again, eyes burning, fingers tracing every error. When Roger returned the next day, smirking, she handed the folder back. 7 discrepancies. For major. Duplicate expenses, false invoices, fake trips. The smirk died. That evening, security escorted Roger out of the building. From that day, no one called her the janitor again. Months turned into a year. Under Maya's leadership, the company uncovered more fraud, saved millions, and became a model of integrity. Her story spread through news outlets and business journals. The cleaner who saved a corporation. But the biggest test came one gray morning when a letter arrived at her desk. The return address. Austin Monroe Federal Detention Center. Her hands trembled as she unfolded it. You think you won. You exposed me, but you built your empire on the ruins I left. You'll see how loyal people really are when they turn on you too. She folded the letter, placed it in a drawer, and locked it. That afternoon, she visited Richard's office. He wrote to me, she said quietly. Richard looked at her with calm resolve. He's behind bars. That's where liars end up. You build. His words grounded her. From that moment, Maya's purpose grew beyond survival. She created a foundation with Richard, the Vaughn Integrity Fund, to protect workers who dared to speak up. They helped factory staff, cashiers, and janitors like her uncover corruption safely. Her name became a quiet anthem of truth across the country. One autumn night, standing by Lake Ontario, she looked out at the skyline. The wind carried the scent of rain and change. Her daughter's laughter echoed behind her. Maya whispered, "We're not invisible anymore." Behind her, a news report played softly from a cafe speaker. Former executive Austin Monroe sentenced to 20 years for fraud and conspiracy. Vaughn Development's transformation credited to whistleblower Maya Bennett. The city lights shimmered like promises. That was justice. Not loud, not cruel, but certain. And somewhere deep inside, Maya knew her father would have been proud. Because sometimes, the smallest act of courage doesn't just save a company. It saves the world from forgetting what integrity looks like. And as the camera fades on the quiet streets of Toronto, her story becomes more than a headline. It becomes a heartbeat. Stay with us. Subscribe to Canada's Heartfelt Tales, where every act of courage leaves a light that never fades. Winter settled gently over Toronto, wrapping the city in quiet light. From her office window, Maya Bennett watched snowflakes drift between the towers, soft and slow, each one different yet falling together. She stood taller now, not because of her title, but because she finally believed she belonged here. The old fear, the one that whispered she was invisible, was gone. In its place was calm certainty. Truth had weight, and even the smallest voice could move mountains when it refused to stay silent. That morning, a young janitor passed by her door, nodding shyly. Maya smiled, recognizing the exhaustion in her eyes. "If something doesn't look right," she said gently, "trust what you see." It wasn't advice. It was a reminder of how change begins. Quietly, with one honest act that refuses to disappear. Outside, the city pulsed with life, its lights shimmering like promises waiting to be kept. And for the first time, Maya didn't just clean someone else's story. She was writing her own. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe to Canada's Heartfelt Tales. Every act of kindness keeps the light of truth alive, one story at a